Hello, 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 lovelies. I hope you're having a great day and a great week so far. We are going to go ahead and do a tarot reading for you today. If you are new to my channel, I am Lyanna. This is Next Level Healing. Today we are going to be answering the question, what are the things that you tend to hide or avoid about yourself? And I will go into detail on the cards. We have a shadow side part, and then we have a best possible, your best self side. And then we have some messages and also spirit animals, power guides. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. If you are new here, I am so excited that you are here. If you are coming back, thank you so much. I genuinely love doing readings. They bring me joy and happiness, and I like spreading messages. So if you enjoy my channel, please like, subscribe, comment, or share. And we're gonna go ahead and go into the pile selection. Thank you. All right, so these are our piles. We do have a couple of stones out. We have our karma stone, the success stone. Then we have a celandine little orb and a little moon incense holder. If you want to choose pile 1, we have the Lover's Tarot card. Hopefully you can see that okay. If you want to choose pile 2, we have Temperance. And if you are wanting pile 3, we have the Six of Wands. You are more than welcome to look up the actual meaning with the cards. This is just a little pack of 3 that I received, and I wanted to use them for today's reading. If you need to know more about what the cards mean before you choose one, that is completely fine. You can go ahead and meditate on the cards, and you are also more than welcome to listen to more than one pile if you are if you are feeling called to do so. So I will let you meditate for a minute, then we'll go ahead and get started with pile 1. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the Lover's Tarot card, this is going to be your reading. I'm actually going to put that over there. So again, this reading is what are the shadow side or shadow things about yourself that you tend to hide or avoid, and then also what are the best what is your best characteristic traits, what's the best thing about you that you also tend to hide or avoid. And then we have a message that you need to hear, and then we also have what power animal or spirit guide are you currently embodying or that you need to embody. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm really excited for this reading. Okay, we're gonna start with your shadow side. So shadow side are these cards. Best characteristics, best thing about you are these ones. I hope you can see them all okay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how I want to have this layout. Don't mind me. Okay, let me just make sure you can see all of the cards, because I'd hate for you not to be able to, and then I will go ahead and get started with the reading. Perfect. Okay, so for pile 1, these are the shadow things or the shadow sides of yourself that you tend to hide or avoid. Starting off, we have the Judgment card. One thing I do want to preface before we start is please don't judge yourself or be hard on yourself for either of these cards. So whether you're someone who tends to be more critical or kind of, again, judgy with this card, please don't be very hard on yourself. We all have a shadow side, and we all have our best characteristic traits. So take that into account and take what resonates for you, but just please be kind and loving with yourself, and don't let this, I guess, put you in a bad space or anything. So again, starting, we have the Judgment card. So you may tend to be more judgmental or more critical of others and their actions. You may also have a complex where you feel like you need to be the judge. And I can relate with this. As a Libra, I want everything to be fair, and I really love when justice is served, because to me it's just satisfying that people get what's coming to them. And again, I know that can be like, there's a lot of things that can stem from that, right? But overall, the Judgment card is being more judgmental, being more critical of others. It may also be that you tend to not forgive others easier. So you may find that you judge them and that you also hold like a grudge over people, or if people have done you wrong in the past, you may tend to like not be able to forget it or not want to forget it. This could also be that maybe you've had more struggles or bad times in life, and so you tend to judge others quicker, or you may make snap judgments of others based off of a little information. We have the Emperor. So with the Emperor, you may tend to find that you think you are better than others. And again, please don't take this the wrong way. We all have a shadow side. This is just coming through for group 1. With the Emperor, you may tend to think that you are smarter than others. Maybe you are better in some sense or another. You may have like a high opinion of yourself, or you may be a little egotistical. You may also tend to think that because of, I'm getting more of like the way that you've come to judge people, you almost tend to think that you therefore are then better for people. So, or not better for people, better than people. So it may be that maybe you have been proven right so many times in your judgments that you then think, oh, okay, so I know I'm right. I know that so-and-so is this, that, or the other, or whatever. But overall, the Emperor is tending to be a little more cockier, a little more egotistical. It may be that you sincerely think you're justified in the judgments that you're making. And that's not to say that you aren't, but it could also be that maybe, like I said, you're making snap judgments on people with a little bit of information. And maybe if you were to open your mind a little bit more, or get to know people a little more, or have a little more context, you would then be able to fully make a judgment, because that's not the part that you're making a judgment that is necessarily quote unquote your shadow side. It's the fact that you are so quick to make that judgment, and you're so sure in the judgments that you're making that you may tend to overlook certain things or not get like the full story. We then have the Four of Cups. So you may tend to think that you are an unlucky person, or that bad things tend to happen to you. You may also be a little bit ungrateful a lot of the times. It could be that you want certain things, or you're so sure that you want certain things that when they aren't met, or they're not delivered to you by the universe, you may tend to feel a little disgraced, or maybe a little angry about it, and you can't tend to see why you are in certain situations in your life that you are in. Again, I want to specify, this isn't meant to bash anyone. Okay, we all have a shadow side. This is just what's coming through for pile 1. So please take what resonates and give yourself some grace and kindness, okay? And don't hate me for for delivering the message that the cards are giving. I just want to keep it real and deliver the accurate message. We're then going to go into the most positive, like the best things about you that you you either hide or you tend to avoid for a specific reason. If I get the message in the card of what the reasoning is, I will tell you. If not, then that is up for your discernment and decoding. The first card is the Three of Swords. So the best thing about you is that you do know how to celebrate others. So those that are closest to you, or those that you love fiercely and dearly, you will go to bat for them. So you are very, very loyal. You are very, very loving. And you're fiercely, what's the word I'm looking for? Fiercely, what's the word I'm looking for? You're like fiercely that person that will have someone's back, I guess to say. Like for those people that you love and that you're close to, you want to celebrate them. You want to make sure that they're happy. You want to make sure that you are supporting them in the best way that you can. This could also be that you will fight for the ones that you love. So you may tend to get in more fights or arguments because you are going to stick up for those people that you love and that are near and dear to your heart. This could also be maybe you tend to find that you are kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? You tend to find that you're in the middle of situations that could be a little, like, a little angry, a little drama. You may tend to find that you are sometimes or normally involved. And with this being the most positive thing about you, it could be that you will fight for what you genuinely believe is right, or you will fight for the people that you love and that you want to support. So that isn't a bad thing in this case. It is that you, like, you're not scared of some confrontation or some drama just because it's going to put you kind of in a bad situation. You're going to fight for the ones that you love and fight for the ones that you hold near and dear to your heart, or fight for situations that you believe like are right. You then have the Fool. So with the Fool, you have a very carefree vibe about you. So you tend to, I'm getting almost like a you don't care, but like okay, and so what? Like, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna be sure in this, that, or the other. So you're very sure when it comes to yourself, and you're sure when it comes to the relationships that are near and dear to you, whether that's like friends, family, or a partner. You're very like, when it comes to them, I don't give a shit. Like, whatever's gonna be is gonna be. And you also tend to look at the beyond, I guess you can say. So if people near and dear to you are having like problems or issues and they come to you and ask for your advice, you're very like, okay, let's think outside the box. Let's be carefree. Let's take risks. You encourage them to kind of be free, I guess. You have like a very free, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's giving me goosies though. I don't like any goosebumps. It's like a very, very carefree, almost like intoxicating. I'm getting the feeling of like I want to be around you because you're just like, all right, so be it. Overall, a very carefree attitude, but in the sense that like you're still like seeing choices that need to be done and taking risk, and I don't know, you're like encouraging that risk-taking vibe in people, which is a good thing, because sometimes people need someone to come in and like encourage them to step outside of their comfort zone. That's the word I'm looking for. You're that person that encourages people to step outside of their comfort zone, and when they do, like, it doesn't backfire. It's like a nice little paved road, and you're beside them cheering them on. We then have the Six of Cups. So with the Six of Cups, you could be very caring for others who kind of have similar struggles to you, or who are struggling. So you do have a very kind heart, and you want people to succeed. Again, if people do you wrong, or if they cross you, then you're kind of like, okay, well, it's over, bud. You're not gonna have anything to do with me. But for the people who, again, are near and dear to you, or even if it's new people you meet and you hit it off with them, You tend to genuinely want people to succeed, and I get this very encourager vibe, like you genuinely feel happy when people succeed and you want them to succeed. Like you cheer people on, you give what you can if you can, whether that's like in materials, energy, resources, etc. And then because that's the energy that you put out, you also receive that in return. Or it could be that the universe is trying to give that to you to receive, and you, for whatever reason, are not seeing it in front of you. There's something else that's kind of limiting your view. But overall, you do have a very, very kind heart, and you are very loyal and very supportive and loving, and you have a very encouraging energy of genuinely wanting people to do good, be good, have a happy life. We are then going to do, excuse me, I had a burp. We are going to do your power animals or spirit guides, and this is either what you embody or what you need to embody more of. I do have my little book that I will read to you from, but I'll read the card for you first. It says, the eagle will elevate you into your mental power. He will kindle the spirituality within yourself. Let me hold it this way. We will see what it says in the book. That's crazy. I literally just flipped to the page when I opened it. So it is number 21 if you want to look up the numerology or symbolism with that if you're interested, the number 21. So you can look up the number 2, the number 1, the number 3, or you could look up the literal number 21. It says the eagle wants to elevate you into your mental power. He wants to remind you that you are a spiritual being. He will carry you out of your own history and into the level of your inner leadership. If you draw the eagle card, there is something to perceive. The eagle advises you to reassess your prospects in life in order to find holistic insights. Open yourself up to your spirituality and your inner spiritual leadership. Always be aware that the role you are playing within your very own story is really yours and is indeed conducive to the very meaning of your life. The eagle will endow you with clarity, which can make you succeed in giving great precision to the effectiveness of your life. We then have a message you need to hear from the universe. It says, success is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that benefit others. John C. Maxwell. That's interesting. You had the word sow in your power animal spiritual guide and in this message. So maybe there's something you need to sow. I think that's how you say it, sow, S-O-W. Sorry, if I'm not grammatically accurate. That is your reading pile 1. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, please take what resonates for you and you can leave the rest behind. If you need or want any clarification on any cards, leave a comment. I'd be happy to try and answer it for you. I also do offer virtual tarot readings or in person if you're in my area. Again, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. And thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, hello, hello. This is for pile 2. If you chose the Temperance card, this is going to be your reading. I will get the cards laid out and then we will go ahead and get into it. Oop, wrong way. Alrighty, we are going to start with your shadow side. So the question again is, what are the shadow sides or things of yourself that you tend to want to hide or avoid? Then we will go into what are like your best characteristic traits. Again, it could be something you tend to hide or avoid. If there's any messages on why you tend to hide or avoid them, I will go ahead and let you know. We then have What is the power animal or spirit guide that you currently embody or that you need to embody? And then what message from the universe that you need to hear? Please take what resonates for you. I do want to preface that the shadow side or shadow things can sound almost like they are a negative, but they're not. We all have a shadow side. We all have things about ourselves that aren't necessarily highlighted as like our positive or best virtues, but a lot of the time there's a lot of learning lessons that come from our shadow side. So please take what resonates for you, and this is not me bashing on you. I'm just relaying the message that is coming from the universe. So again, take what resonates for you. We start off with the King of Pentacles. So right off the bat, I get kind of like a sense of greediness. So maybe you have come from a life or a lifestyle where you were not given like the bare necessity of things that you needed, or you were not given a lot of things growing up. So as you were or have gotten older, you tend to be very stingy with your materials or stingy with your money. It could also be that maybe you, what's the word I'm looking for? You kind of nitpick what you want to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry, guys. You tend to nitpick what you give out, and that can be a number of things. So it could be your energy, your time, it could be materials, it could be physical things. You may be appeared as being like a little standoffish, or maybe you're kind of turned off easily. Like maybe someone does something and you're like, ugh, I don't want to be friends with you, or ugh, I don't want to spend time with you. You know, it's kind of like you're quick to make a decision about people, and you're quick to decide whether you want to invest your time, your money, friendship, relationship, anything like that. You tend to figure out quickly if you want things to continue or what you want to give out to people. You may also tend to be a little bit in your masculine power. So that's not gender-based at all. It could just be that you tend to be more decisive and direct, very straightforward, or you tend to be. And again, these could be things that you try to hide or avoid about yourself. With your shadow side, you don't want to suppress too much of it, because then it becomes powering or overstimulating, and it can overtake the things that people love about you, basically. We then have the Ace of Pentacles. So overall, you have a lot of pentacle energy. So with your shadow side, you may tend to deal with things regarding money, finances, job, career. That could be a big focus for you, that maybe you did not have the income necessities while growing up, or maybe you had to work really, really hard at a job. Maybe you had to work hard with finances. With the Ace of Pentacles, it could be that you tend to think that you deserve maybe more than others. So you may think that you have put in harder work than others, so therefore you deserve more. You may think that new opportunities or new jobs or new things should be presented to you first because you deserve it. It could also be that you tend to expect a lot from others. So maybe you tend to think that friendships, family members, relationships, they should give you more materials, give you more fulfillment in the sense of like finances, trips, traveling, food, gifts, etc. We then have the Three of Pentacles. So you may find it hard to play nice with others. You may tend to think that you need to be the leader of the group, and that you need to kind of set the pace, I guess. That you think like, okay, I'm gonna go in, set the pace, say what is what, and I'm gonna like get ahead of anyone trying to like take advantage of you in a way, if that makes sense. So you may tend to think that people are, I wouldn't say bad, but you may tend to think like people would steal from you if they had the opportunity to. People would screw you over if they had the opportunity to. And it may be, again, in regards specifically to finances or a job or a career like school or something, or it could be in your overall relationships in life. Again, it could stem from the past that has happened to you, that you have like inhabited these beliefs. And with these being the things that you tend to hide or avoid, your shadow side, we all avoid it somewhat because our shadow side can be considered like the worst, not the worst things about us, but the things that we don't like about ourselves. So you want to embody these, but you want to use it in the best way possible that it reflects positively for you, or you want to try and work through these that you're not just like pushing it under the rug, or you're not suppressing it, if that makes sense. Because again, the longer you suppress something, the bigger it becomes, and then it can create like bad habits or bad energy. So you do want to try and acknowledge these and not hide them, but again, you don't want to be like, you don't want to like tell people, oh, well, piss off, this is my money, or piss off, I don't want your help. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to figure out why you feel the need to maybe lead and not have anyone's help, why you feel the need that all these new opportunities be presented to you, why you feel the need to be kind of greedy. So again, you want to try and acknowledge these and not hide them, but you don't want to take it full force and then just embody these fully with no compassion, kindness, or regards for anyone else. Now on to your most best things, the best things about you, the best possible things about you. Again, these could be things that you are not acknowledging, or maybe you're hiding, or it could be something that you're suppressing, and they may reflect on each other. So maybe when you're listening to this reading, you'll see the correlation between the two, or maybe it will be something that you need to kind of think about more. And you have a lot of pentacle energy in your cards. It's very interesting. To start off, you have the Six of Pentacles. So at heart, you genuinely just want to help people. You think that everyone should succeed and that no one should have to suffer. So maybe you, in your past, I want to say suffered from financial stuff, but maybe you were considered poor, or maybe you weren't able to get like bare necessities when you were growing up, or maybe as an adult, you've found that it's a lot harder to kind of succeed or make the dream life that you had wanted when you were a child. But your overall energy in your heart, you genuinely want people to achieve and have that dream that they had when they were a child. You want people to be financially okay. You may also have a love for animals and a very caring and loving heart and a compassionate heart. You may also tend to find that you want things balanced in life. So although you are very loving and kind and you want the best for everyone, you're not going to let people stomp all over you and take advantage of you. You're very level-headed and balanced, and you do want the best, but you're also not going to let others steamroll you or steamroll other people. We then have the King of Pentacles. So you do embody that very like sure, confident energy, and you exude that to others. So when other people are around you, they're like, dang, they're really confident. They're really sure in themselves. And it isn't like a cocky, arrogant, negative vibe that you give off. You give like a, yeah, I'm sure in myself, I'm confident in myself, but I'm also still very kind to others. This could also be that you are or you are wanting to be more giving. So there is like you have literally the same card. One's in the shadow side and one's in like the best possible side. So it could be that you are having this conflict of wanting to share your wealth and your fortune, but you also have like the greedy side to it. I find that so interesting that you have both of those. I don't know why. It's given me epiphany moments. If you want to look more into the King of Pentacles, I would encourage that, because that is a very masculine energy. So maybe you are either finding the balance in that, or you will be finding the balance. I'd also encourage you to look into maybe characteristics or traits of the King of Pentacles, and you can kind of compare and see what you embody, and be truthful, you know, because tarot cards aren't positive or negative. They just have like fact stuff based with them. So the King of Pentacles, they both have a flip side, right? So you can look at both of those characteristics and see which ones you are truly embodying right now, whichever one that may be, whether the shadow side or the best possible side. I don't like saying it that way, but you get what I'm saying. And maybe seeing kind of where you're sitting at it, because maybe you're going to be finding a balance here soon. You then have the Seven of Swords. So with this being one of your like positive, best side things, attributes about you, you tend to, although the past may have determined where you're at in your life, you don't let it restrict or restrain you. You tend to have a very driven and like resourceful mindset. You tend to think, okay, so this X, Y, and Z did happen, but now I can do A, B, C, and I'll become this, that, and the other. You don't let your past restrict you. Although the word how I'm trying to explain it is, there are some people, like, the past has happened to them and then they carry it with them, and it determines, it continues to determine the way that they act, the choices they make, the decisions they make, the way they speak. Yours is like, the past happened, that's it, end quote, period, and now you are creating your own life. You are making your own moves. You're not letting it determine anything for you. You're not letting it restrict you. You are very resourceful, and you're also very quick with like the way that you think, the way that your mind works. You could be very intelligent and very, very smart, and you are able to find ways and resources to make things work out for you and work out for others. Again, you do want others to succeed, so it's not just like, oh, it's all about me, 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 but you are resourceful with yourself and with others. Now, the power animal or spirit guide that you are currently embodying, or that you need to embody, is the whale. It says the whale is a guardian of knowledge. I will read from my little book what it says. Let's see. If I can find the page. Jeez Louise. It says, everything that was ever witnessed or experienced by a living being since the beginning of time contains knowledge that is available to each and every creature at the fountain of being. We are all related by delicate waves of the psychic force. When the well surfaces in your deck, he wants to remind you of something that you know deep within yourself and that you should live by. It is not about practical knowledge, but more about a premonition of the real truth behind the story. Listen to the whale, its song, its being, and let the answer to your questions emerge from the depth. Confide in the knowledge that fulfills you. Once you are connected to the knowledge within yourself, you will find a good way to live. We then have the message from the universe that they want you to hear. It says, a goal is not always meant to be reached. It often serves simply as something to aim at. Bruce Lee. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading, pile 2, and I hope it resonates for you. Please let me know in the comments if it did resonate, or if you have any questions. I do offer virtual and in-person readings if you are in my area. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, your week, your month, and I appreciate you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello, 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 pile 3. If you chose the Six of Wands card, this is going to be your reading. I will get the card set up and then explain the layout to you. Hopefully you can see those okay. Okay, so the question is, what are the shadow side? Well, the question is, what are the things that you tend to hide or avoid about yourself? But it gets a little more specific. So we're going to start with your shadow side. So what are the things that you tend to avoid or hide about yourself that are like your shadow side or your shadow things? And then what are the things that you tend to hide or avoid about yourself that are like your best positive traits? And if any messages come through why you specifically tend to hide those, I will let you know. It could also just be a reflection of your shadow side. Please compare, take what resonates for you. I do want to preface, this is not a judgment of you. This is not me bashing you or whatever, like trying to be nasty to you or anything like that. This is just the messages from the card that I want to relay to you. We then have, what spirit animal, power guide are you embodying or that you need to embody? Then a message from the universe. Please take what resonates for you, and we are gonna get started. All right, starting with Page of Wands. Okay, so you may tend to think that you are like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like a pioneer, that you like pave the way for people, that you are someone who creates like movements, creates like these life-altering events. I'm getting the vibe that you have kind of like a high opinion of yourself. And again, don't hate me, I'm not bashing you. These are just things that are coming through for the cards with your shadow side. Everyone has a shadow side, so just take a breath. It's all gonna be okay. You may tend to think that you are, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say you think you're better than people, because I don't feel like you believe that you're better than people. I think it's almost that like you have created like a thought process maybe that maybe has proved that you think you're better than people, if that makes sense. So maybe you're like really intelligent, or you're funny, or you're like further advanced in your life than others, that you then think that those kind of solidify that you are like more advanced than people, I guess, or that you, that's literally me just saying that you think you're better than people. I should just say it. Yeah, you have like an overall high opinion of yourself, and you can tend to think that you're better than people. It may be coming down to, again, it could be something with schooling, like maybe you had better schooling than others, or maybe you had a like a better childhood. Maybe you didn't have to like you were kind of given the things that you wanted or that you asked for, or you haven't really had you've had struggles, but you didn't have struggles in the sense of like getting what you wanted. So it's like put you in a situation or a spot kind of where you tend to think that you're better than people, or you have like a very high opinion of yourself. We then have the Eight of Cups. So with the Eight of Cups, you could be a spiritual or intuitive person, and you may tend to think that you are better than others in that sense. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying. It sounds so mean. I feel like it sounds like I'm bashing you. I promise I'm really not. I'm just getting this overall vibe that you kind of think you are further along than others in a lot of aspects or paths of your life. So if you are spiritual or intuitive, you may think that because of certain spiritual journeys you've taken, or like classes, knowledge that you have, that it kind of places you above others. And I do want to preface that this doesn't make you unkind, or it doesn't make you like an a-hole or a d-bag or anything, but you definitely have like that air of thinking a little bit higher of yourself than you do others. We then have the Ace of Swords. So with the Ace of Swords, you may also think that you are someone who comes up with all of these great ideas. You are like the best thinker. I'm getting, the reason I laugh, I'm so sorry. I'm not laughing at you, I promise. It's just like the messages and the energies that I'm receiving from my card guides. They're like, Lana, just say it, just say it. But I don't want to come across as an a-hole, because that's not my intention. So I'm trying to say this in the most like kind way possible, but I get this overall vibe that you really do think you're like a trailblazer, pioneer, like that you're like molding this path for millions and millions to follow. And hey, who's to say that you're not? You could be. And again, I do want to preface that this isn't you, like I don't get that you're unkind at all, or I don't get that you are mean to people. I think the overall vibe is just kind of like you could be a little condescending, or you may have a higher air about yourself, if that makes any sense. Like maybe a little snobbish. We then have the your best traits, the best possible things about you, the things that you embody about yourself. So we start with the 10 of Pentacles. Oh, I love this. With the 10 of Pentacles, you are very kind. So you would never want to purposely like hurt someone's feelings, or your heart is never set out to put somebody down. You're never like, oh, well, I want to not hit this person. Like I guess that's the word that came through. I want to hit them when they're down. Like, you know how some people genuinely want to like tear others down. I don't get that vibe from you at all. And one thing I do want to say, a message that's coming through, you may tend to hide this because of maybe the way you're perceived. So maybe you receive more respect with kind of highlighting things about, like, how do I explain it? If you're more, people tend to respect and not question people who are sure and have like that confident air about themselves, even if it comes across as like kind of condescending. I think people tend to be like, okay, well, you don't want to mess with them, you don't want to do this. So you, specifically for this card, I'm getting the message that you may hide this part of you because you don't want people to see you as like weak, quote unquote. And I can genuinely relate to that card, because yeah, it's a long story, but I can relate to that. It could also be that you are very giving with your finances. So maybe you've been put in a position in life where you make a steady income now, or you like you're very giving with your belongings and your materials. So maybe you volunteer at places. Maybe you, like if you, I don't know, you have something and a friend or family member is like, oh, I really like that. You're like, please have it. I want you to have it. So you are very, very kind, and you're very loving, and you are very giving. Like you don't mind giving people things. You're like, hey, you want this? You can have it. You are pretty balanced as well in your giving and receiving. So sometimes people can give too much or take too much, and then it can like throw your balance off. But you're pretty balanced, and you how do I explain it? You don't hold any energy that's opposing to what you're doing. So sometimes people give something away when they really don't want to, and then that's just putting confusing energy in the universe, because it's like, well, why'd you just give that away if you didn't want to? Yours is like, nope, I genuinely want to give this to you. Makes me happy, won't bother me at all. I want you to have it. And so you're matching up like in your energy alignment. We then have the Two of Wands. So with the Two of Wands, you can either be very decisive, but in the best possible way. So you may have friends or family who tend to come to you and they are like, oh, can I get your advice or decision on this? And you're very good at being logical and emotional. I'm getting an overall that you're like very balanced. You don't tend to let logic overrule you, and you also don't let emotions overrule you. You're like pretty good about thinking everything through, and thinking like what would be right. How do I explain it? What's the word I'm looking for? What would genuinely be right, not just what you would want to be right. So like say you have a friend come to you and they're like, oh, my boyfriend did so and so and the other, right? You're able to logically think about what's right, not just like, oh, well, this is my friend, and like you're logical and emotional at the same time. You don't let one thing influence you, like just because it's a friend or a family member. Of course you care about them and you love them, but you're gonna give them the truth, basically, essentially. You're gonna give them the unbiased truth without like letting the relationship hinder you, if that makes sense. You may also be very sharp, so you could once a decision's made or you've thought something through, you could be very sharp with like follow through, very sharp with, well, we need to continue on, we need to keep doing it. So it's a encouraging, but not in a, sometimes people will encourage you, but then they like soften it with letting you quit. They're like, oh, well, I really think you should do it, but if you can't, then that's okay. Or, oh, I think you got it, but if you're tired, like just sit down and quit. You're very like, no, you got this. I know you got it. I know you're tired, but you can do it. Like, keep going. You are very encouraging, but in a way that gives people kind of like that strength to continue on, even if they don't want to, if that makes sense. We then have Justice. So with this being in your like best possible thing about you, or your best side, etc., you could be very balanced overall. Like I get the energy that you don't, oh my god, I don't know why this pile is giving me such confusing like energy. I find that, I don't know why. I'm like, maybe let me just take a breath and clear my thoughts, right? Maybe you are like a very fast-paced person and you're like high energy and you get stuff done. I don't know what it is, but you are very balanced. You are very logical. As you can see here, there's just the balance in general. You don't let one thing overweigh the other. And if you do, you genuinely try to figure out like, okay, why did I let that become unbalanced? Or why was you almost get a sense that you think you're being unfair. So you try to be very fair with everyone, no matter who it is. You also use your intellect and your mind a lot. So you do have that sword energy. I find it interesting that you have it in the same spot, like on each side. So you have the wands here, the wands here, the sword here, the swords here. Anyway, you could be very logical, but in the best possible way. Like, sometimes when people use logic and then it can kind of hinder them, where they're like, oh, you need to use your emotion more. You use your mind, but you also balance it with your emotions, and you also balance it with your experiences, and you balance it with other people, and you use your community and your resources, finances. Like, it's an overall balance. It's not just one or the other. Your power animal spirit guide is the crow. It says the crow will connect you to the laws of nature. Sorry, I'm reading it upside down, so I can't see what it said. We'll go ahead and read from this book for you. It says, life follows strict laws of nature and clear social rules. The crow reminds you, follow these laws and rules and live by them. There is always a certain leeway when it comes to social rules, but there is none when it comes to the laws of nature. Maybe you have called the crow to your deck because you are disobeying the rules of health. Maybe patterns of faith have replaced the natural laws. Maybe you are not taking the social order of society seriously enough. Try to recognize what is sane from a natural point of view and live according to it. So this is, I think I messed it up when I said it. This is the spiritual animal or power guide that you are either embodying or that you need to embody. So if you need to go back and listen again with my correct usage of what I was going for, please do so. You then have a message from the universe. Says, most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed to be no help at all. Dale Carnegie. That is your reading pile 3. I genuinely hope you enjoyed it. Again, please take what resonates for you, and I promise I'm not a hater. I was just delivering the message from the cards. If you want to comment, please do so. If you want to do a private reading, I offer virtual and in-person readings if you're in my area. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye.